we present to you an oyster. Can we take a close-up of this, please? They've been eating these for thousands of years, we're told. They are delicious, nutritious.
And an aphrodisiac, supposedly. Really?
But they say
you're starting to look good to me, baby.
They don't look great. Well, let's ask our guest, Les Barnes. He's from the family restaurant London Lennies in Regal Park. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
What do they say about the first guy to eat an oyster?
It was a brave man.
Because it looks like a certain substance.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it tastes much better.
Yeah. Well, why are these so good for you?
Well, they're high in protein, low in fat, low in carbohydrates, and loaded with minerals, zinc, copper.
Is there a certain way to shuck? Because Greg was going to try to use his teeth before, and I told him not to do that.
First of all, what is shucking?
Well, shucking is just the art of opening a clam or an oyster.
Yeah, I'd like to have the people in the back do it. Just serve it on a plate. But
there is some fun to doing that.
Absolutely.
If you go out and do your own little fishing, right?
Well, I mean, shucking an oyster, you got to be an expert at it if you want to do it right. You got to make it look nice and clean, can't cut the meat. But then handling the oyster is important, too. You know, that's why we came up with the 10 Commandments of a raw bar.
What's the 10 Commandments?
Well, I'll give you the first 5. You know, one should be, got to belly up to the bar, and you got to watch the guy shuck. So if you're going to order clams and oysters, you want to watch that guy right in front of you shucking those clams and oysters.
We're already in sin.
See?
All right, what's 2?
What's 2? Ice, baby, we call it. You got to have plenty of ice on all your oysters and clams because they're better when they're cold.
Okay.
Oysters look alike to me, but they're very different, aren't they?
Yes, they are. Yeah.
Les, how many oysters should you eat? Because Greg's already on his 2nd or 3rd.
Well, we think a dozen or so is probably just the norm.
Well, a record could be set today.
I have a guy, he eats a dozen of these. He comes in a dozen of those. That's a man size.
Now, this restaurant is a family-owned restaurant?
Family-owned restaurant.
How did it start?
We started off as a small retail fish store in 1959. And my dad was a Cockney from London, and it was just all fish and chips in those days. And we've grown over the years to a big seafood restaurant. We feed about 190 people, and we have a great raw bar.
Excellent, excellent. By the way, this is National Oyster Day, according to somebody somewhere.
Somebody came up with it, but it sounds good to me.
All right, so can you show us how to shuck?
Sure. We'll take an easy one here.
Okay.
This is
Can we get a close-up? Good.
You just put your knife in the hinge, and you give it a little pop, just like that. Very easy.
You got to be very careful, because you could slice your finger.
We've all had stitches.
Really?
Absolutely.
On your hand?
Absolutely.
All right, so this is something a professional should do in the back, but that's it. You just put a knife, you find a hole.
You should do it in the front. Should do it in the front where you can watch it. You just find a little hinge.
Can you do one more for us?
Sure.
A big one.
We want to do this one?
Okay.
Right,
and then we should have Greg do it.
No.
See, it's hard to get them open.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough one.
Now, wait,
They've been sitting under the hot lights, and that makes them a little tight.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where do you get these oysters from, by the way?
The one I'm opening right now is from the Dartmouth River up in Maine. And this is going to be a nice one.
Beautiful.
Wow, look at that. That is huge.
Yeah.
And you have to be careful not to cut the meat,
right, you don't want to cut the meat, and you can just suck that right off the shelf.
Greg?
May I?
Go ahead.
Thank you
Do
very much.
we need to look at this?
I'll turn my back.
Wait,
Don't trip.
Come on, go.
Oh.
There you go. Good man.
Gee whiz.
You all right?
The
wetness is on me, not you.
I got splashed with some of that.
You're a man.
Rosanna's turn.
No.
What? No. The girl from Brooklyn's not going to have a little oyster? You're afraid of a little oyster?
Oh, that's got a little shell in it. Wait a minute.
All right, here, give her a fresh oyster.
I'm going to use a fork and some condiments, Les. So,
okay. I would, you know what, just try it with a little bit of lemon.
How much do oysters run these days?
That's what we call that, where's the pearl?
Yeah.
You ever find a pearl, by the way?
Yes, but they don't look nice and white.
That's cool.
You should be paying anywhere from $1.85 to
eats it like a lady.
$2.10. We sell this one for like $3.
You gonna finish that juice?
That's
the best. That's the brine. That's good stuff.
Right? You want another one? Let's have another one. What did you have before?
I'm only kidding. I'm not really
nothing,
All right, so what's the big night there at...
what's the big night?
Yeah, London Lennies.
Well, tonight we're having, just a big oyster festival. We'll have about 10 different types of oysters on the menu.
Delicious.
These are from Maine. We got stuff from Massachusetts, Wellfleet, and these are from Nova Scotia, Wallis Bay. And plus we have 5 or 6 others there tonight.
All right.
So it's really great. Plus we got all these great condiments. This is the standard stuff, but this is a really great one.
What is that?
We call it an Asian relish. It's cucumber, red onion, peppers.
I'll say
That's really delicious.
Also, I hear about jumbo shrimp. I don't hear about jumbo oysters, but that's a jumbo oyster. That
is a jumbo oyster, yeah.
Is that what you call it?
We call them box oysters when they get there.
Box oysters.
Yeah.
All right.
Sort of a generic name.
Les Barnes
but
from London.
She leaves them in the water for a long time. That's why she gets them that big.
Are there male and female oysters?
They can actually change. depending on what they need.
Really?
Yeah. And most of these oysters are...
new.
Is that wild or what?
All right, Les Barnes from London Lennies in Rego Park. We thank you so much for coming in
Thanks
this
for having
morning.
me.
Real quick, what street in Rego Park?
Woodhaven Boulevard.
Woodhaven Boulevard.
6388. And don't forget to come for National Oyster Day.
All right, don't forget, for oyster tips and recipes, go to our website, myfoxny.com. Click on the Good Day tab.
Stay connected with myfoxny.com mobile. Download the iPhone app or text Fox5 to 46988 for other devices. Local news, weather, and traffic on the go with myfoxny.com mobile.